Spain are world champions. Ferran Torres. Extra time. MetLife Stadium. July 19th. They beat Argentina 1-0 in one of the most tense World Cup finals in history. And they are world champions for the second time. I said it in episode 10. I said Spain. I never doubted it. Not even for a second. Welcome to Disputed episode 12 on SportsTalk Media HQ. The World Cup 2026 wrap-up. I'm Nate alongside Glo and a very special guest today, Akogzy. Thanks for joining us, Akogzy. Great to have you. Both of them picked France. Both of them are wrong. Let's get into it.
Oh well, I'm really pained, but congratulations has to go to Spain here. It really hurts, honestly, to say that. It genuinely hurts me to say that. France were really, really close. We beat England in the semi. Oh, wow. Wait. No,
Sure.
we didn't. Spain beat us 2-0 in the semi-final. And England, to make matters worse, beat us 6-4 in the third place match. It was a painful week for France, I can tell you that. Akogzy, how are you holding up?
Yeah, I'm still holding up. The loss to Spain is the most painful. I really don't count the loss in the third place match that much because I felt like they didn't take it serious initially. So when they went 4 goals down, they were like, hey, come on, we can't be this stupid, right? So they try to wake up. But the one against Spain is the most painful because I was putting my money on that attack, the French attack. The 4 guys they have up front, alternating between Doué and Bacola, I thought they would tear down any defense, including Spain. That was my pick. And even when they lost to Spain, they were still my pick, to be honest. I just thought maybe we underrated Spain because of the way they play. To me, they play kind of. I'm not a fan of possession-based football. I want quick, fast goals. That's why I picked France, right? And I like the attack. So looking back, Arsene Wenger said the only team that might beat France is Spain, and I think that's what happened. The way they play is kind of funny, right? It's not exciting to me, but it works.
we get to that later, Akogzy. Again, thanks for sharing your opinion. But again, that's music to my ears. Let's wrap up the greatest World Cup in history. Let's go. To our subscribers and viewers, please subscribe so you don't miss the Premier League season coverage that's coming very, very soon. Let's talk about the final real quick. Spain versus Argentina. MetLife Stadium. 90 minutes, nothing. Emiliano Martinez was absolutely heroic. Save after save. Spain had 20 shots on goal. Argentina had nothing. If you look at the start of the match, Messi didn't even have a shot at goal until extra time. It was just a shutdown, in my opinion. Messi was a ghost. He was starved of his possession. In my opinion, Spain dominated everything in that final. And then again, Enzo Fernandez, who was sent off in the third minute. Remember, he got a yellow card earlier at the 82nd minute because of a dissent with the referee. And then that reckless challenge of Akogzy, in my opinion, that was a clear red card. Second yellow, red card. Down to 10 men. And still somehow, it stayed goalless into extra time. That was just something else.
Yeah. No, but the disallowed goal, that's Nico Williams' disallowed goal in the first half of the extra time, that was actually the moment for me. He beat Martinez to the ball and he put it in the net. The stadium for me just erupted, and obviously VAR to come in to spoil the day, and they ruled it out. Mikel Merino had been adjured to have fouled Martinez in the build-up to that goal. Imagine if that had stood. It would have been all over. Instead, there was more agony for Spain, and for whatever reason, Argentina somehow were still alive.
Yeah,
in that
they
game.
were. And then on 6 minutes, Pedro
Yeah,
Porro's
yeah.
cross to the back post. Nico Williams beats Manila to the header. The ball came back across. What happened? Composed,
Go.
brilliant, focused into the roof of the net.
I still
1-0.
have my doubts, though, about VAR ruling out that goal. Honestly, I think that
So-
goal should have stood, in my opinion. But either
Me too.
way, I'm
Rules
just
are
glad
rules, though.
football won. Football
Yeah.
won. In my
Rules-
opinion, football won.
So maybe what we kind of continue, right? 1-0, the Ferran Torres came off the bench, scored the winning goal. Spain have won the World Cup twice now. In my opinion, that's another second substitute ever to score the winning goal in the World Cup after Mario Götze in 2014.
Yeah, for Germany.
It was Götze too for Germany. History repeating itself.
2010, though, Iniesta in 2010 for Spain.
Was it a sub too?
Yeah.
It was a
No,
sub?
it wasn't a sub. It wasn't
No,
a
no,
sub.
it wasn't a
but-
sub. It wasn't
yeah,
a sub.
But it's
Yeah.
not fine. Extra
sub,
time. We're talking about
So,
the sub.
Akogzy, I'm going to ask you, Spain 1-0 Argentina. Were Spain worthy champions, Akogzy? What do you think?
Most definitely. Like I said, the way they play is not exciting to me. Some people like the way they play. But for them to concede just one goal throughout the tournament, and for them to dominate Argentina, dominate France, we were saying Argentina didn't have a single shot on target. The same thing with France. France didn't have a single shot on target until towards the end of 90 minutes. So there's something in that midfield.
Dominance.
They just don't see the ball. I think that's it. I think the best way to defend is they won't give you the ball. If you don't see the ball, how are you going to attack, right? So I think they are deserving champions at the end of the day. Beating France, I would say. And looking at the final, like you said, Argentina didn't have a shot on target until towards the end of the second half of the extra time. That is dominance. And they had countless number of shots towards Argentina's goal. If not for Martinez, easily that could have been like 4-0 in the final.
Sure.
So I think they are worthy champions. Let's give it to them. Whatever they're doing works. Possession, they keep it, you don't get the ball, and every once in a while they score 1 or 2 goals. It works. So let's give it to them. They're deserving champions.
Yeah, I think for me too. They didn't, throughout the whole tournament, I wasn't impressed by Spain in any way, shape, or form. Especially even in the first game. It was, they played the Spain that we used to know where, tiki-taka, but then you see some kind of, nice ways of playing. But I wasn't impressed. So I didn't even watch them like that. But the main game I watched was the one they played against France. And in this game I came in with, oh yeah, France was going to beat Spain because I hadn't seen anything special about Spain. And I watched that game, Spain 2-0 against France in Dallas. And honestly, in that game, Spain was better. I could not believe what I was watching. Oyarzabal scored from penalty spot. And I just felt that Digne guy, I don't know what he was thinking, fouling Yamal. And that was the end of the game. Giving Spain that 1-0 up, without even doing anything was already, Spain just kind of, it was almost like, and that was the first time France conceded first. France always scored first before their opposition. So I guess at that point in time, they just didn't know, how to deal with Spain, since Spain was used to, keeping the ball. So of course, Spain went 1-0 up, and then they kept the ball away from France. Then on to make matters worse, Porro doubled it in the 58th minute or so. A brilliant give and go with Daniel Olmo, which who really impressed me, as in just watching that particular game. And Olmo just, and it was a side-footed shot past the France keeper. France had 10 shots, 3 on target. It was 0.3, XG to Mbappe. It was just restricted to that. And this was Mbappe that we have watched all through. He had almost nothing, all game. Spain's defensive shape suffocated everything they tried to do. For me, that particular game was so painful. You would have thought that I was French, but that's the truth. So once they beat Spain, I just felt they were going to go on to win it really,
Yeah,
and I wanted them to win because really Argentina was not my cup of tea.
No worries. So, Akogzy, let me ask you real quick. Just give us a kind of a quick from your own shot. What went wrong for France against Spain? Like, do you think it was a failure? Do you think this tournament for them was a failure, or do you think it was a successful tournament? Do you think it was successful?
Regardless, I won't call it a failure, right? 2018, they were champions. 2022, they lost to Argentina by penalties in the final. And now they made it to semi-final. How many teams have you seen made it to 3 consecutive semi-finals? You rarely see those these days. So to me, it's not a failure. And I think what went wrong is back to the midfield. I keep saying it was a midfield battle. 2018, they had Kante as their midfield general. I believe they missed the general in that midfield to do the dirty work for the attackers to shine. Chouameni plays for Real Madrid, but I don't think he was the guy for the job, to be honest. I was thinking maybe Kone would have been better in that game, just me. But I just think what was missing is the midfield battle. That's what went wrong. The attackers were there, but they were starved of the ball because Spain will allow you to see the ball. Spain they dominated the midfield completely. There was no midfield general for France. I think that was what went wrong. Okay. And regardless, I won't call it a failure. I think they've done well. You don't always win. I felt they had what it takes to win. I felt it was their tournament to lose. But at the same time, kudos to Spain.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm with you on that. Losing to Spain in the World Cup semifinals is not a failure. France were brilliant throughout the competition. I agree with you. Mbappe made history. Olise was extraordinary. I believe he set the assist record right now in the World Cup. Reaching the semifinal of the World Cup is an achievement on its own. And to your point, 2018, 2022, 2026, France have been very consistent. Spain were just better on that day. And they were better than everybody else. It could have been France winning. So to our viewers, was this France's best ever World Cup despite the semifinal exit? Drop your take in the comments. Now, let's talk about one thing that, I'm not sure if you know about this, Akogzy. There's something we need to address. Episode 10, before the World Cup started, I chose Spain to win. And then Glo had France. And we made a bet that whoever loses have to wear the jersey of the team they didn't pick to win. I picked Spain. Obviously, I won the bet. She picked France, who didn't win. So she has to wear Spain's shirt and camera. Again, so she was that, which is coming. Just FYI, it's going to happen. Akogzy, do you know about the bet? I want you to think about that bet. What do you think? Not sure if you know about the bet. What do you think about the bet?
I don't know about the bet. I didn't know about the bet. I'm just hearing about the bet. But I think it's a good one. I would have loved for her to win because we both wanted France to win. And I still do want France to win. I would have loved for you to be the one wearing the jersey today. Okay. But since you won, we'll give it to you.
No worries. And again, it is happening. The shirt is coming in our very next episode. When we do the Premier League kickoff, she's going to wear that. So subscribe so you don't miss that. Aspire shirt is coming on camera. No excuses. No get out. It's happening.
Well. It's coming. Hopefully it takes its little while to come. But, a bet is a bet. And I'm a woman of my word. And so to the viewers, when the shirt finally gets here, I'll wear it. It's a much better bet than me being forced to wear a Man City hat. So this is okay. I'll wear it when it comes because obviously a bet is a bet, and I can't go. Even though it's very painful because I was already imagining you in the French jersey because I was so sure, I was 100% sure that the French were going to win. But obviously they still are very young. They have very young players. They'll be back. Mm-hmm. They definitely will be back. And with Zidane, taking over, I expect much more better from them next time out.
No worries. For now, Spain shirt is coming. Now, Yeah.
You called it from day one. No,
Yeah,
Nate
I
called it
did.
from day one. So
I did.
let's see.
I love that. Let me
When it
enjoy it.
comes, yeah, it's okay. Enjoy your time.
So before we go any further, can we talk about the third place match? England versus France, Miami Stadium. 10 goals, 6-4. The highest scoring World Cup game since Hungary beat El Salvador 10-1 in 1982. The most goal ever in a third place match. England were 4-0 at halftime. Rice with a corner from distance in the third minute. Kunsa header from a corner. Saka tapping in from Rashford pass. Saka again with a brilliant finish from the edge of the box. 4-0 at halftime against France. Akogzy, France were 4-0 down at halftime. Walk us through that from a France perspective. Can you just give us your overview of the game real quick?
Like I said earlier, I don't think they were in the game. France, I think it was Glo that said they are very emotional.
Yeah.
I believe they brought that to the third place match. Those guys wanted to play in the finals, not third place match. I think that affected their rhythm. But I think during halftime, they were like, wait a minute, we cannot be representing our country like this. So they tried to put on a good show in the second 45 minutes. I think the first 45 minutes, they were just not there. Their mind wasn't there. It was like a punishment to them. The second 45 minutes, just to avoid that shame, is why they try to come back. And regardless, to me, all I wanted from that game was Mbappe to score. I don't care who wins. I just wanted to score, and he scored twice. The moment he scored the second goal, I was done.
It's funny. I couldn't believe that first half. I genuinely couldn't believe. I was like, what's happening? What was happening here? Because it was almost like England had something to play for because of all the ramblings back at home. And to be fair to England, no one picked them as the favorites. France, France were picked as the favorite. Everybody, and then of course up until they played Spain, everybody had them as the favorites.
Except myself.
So obviously, but you were scared at some point. You were really scared because at some point, remember you said that, oh my, because France was just like demolishing everybody.
They're dominant.
They were really dominant, and so it was a shock to my system when I saw. But I knew for a fact they didn't want to be there. They really did not want to be there. Obviously, England took advantage of the fact that they felt that, because sportsmen, they can tell who is really up for it, and they quickly went up 4-0. 4-0, I was like, what is going on here? But I knew for whatever reason that in that people would have thrown chairs and maybe even fought in that dressing room at halftime, in the French dressing room, and said, come on, wake up. We still have a representation to give our countrymen. So when they came out and they kept going, I was saying it. I was like, if France were to equalize, and they nearly did, if they had equalized, 4-4, there's no way England wins. But obviously, well, for whatever reason, Tuchel for the first time used his head and threw on a motivated Jude Bellingham, because Jude is very, 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 and he wanted to have a say. You could see him on the sideline, really like, oh, I wish I were playing in this game, when England started racking up. And obviously the Arsenal boys came to the rescue of England again. So obviously 4-0, that's the most humiliating scoreline I've ever seen, for a French team.
Let us go over the full picture real quick, really. Olise with 7 assists in the tournament, all-time World Cup record, of course. But Mbappe's goal, assisted by Olise. So Olise gave two. He gave Olise. So Olise gave Mbappe his 2 assists. His 2 goals were through Olise's assist. I think that took him to 7. That was the only thing he did, right? I don't think he did anything else in that game. But England head on. Saka's penalty to make it a hat trick was good. Dembele pulled one back to make it 5-4. At that 5-4, to be honest, I was scared. I was scared. So Bellingham coming in to make it 6-4 kind of calmed me down a little bit, because I was scared for England. As you mentioned, if that didn't happen, it may have been 5-5. And if they go extra time, they were going to lose. That, to me, that was a good finish. And I think Bellingham, for England player, he had a great tournament, in my opinion. Saka also, with that hat-trick, had a great tournament, even though it wasn't fully fit, but that was really good for Saka. So that was good.
I think at 4-3, Olise had like a lot of chances to make it 4-4.
Yeah.
Even more than finishing. Even more than one, to a point. That was scary. It could have been, to a point, it could have been 7-4, honestly.
It was just losing chances.
I don't understand what kind of deal Olise signed. I don't know what kind of deal is signed, because for every good thing he did in that World Cup, for not scoring even one goal.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Having 7 assists, which is now like, the record, But for me, I think England deserved that third place on the day.
Of course.
The second half showed that the second half actually showed France's quality. But that first half, it just shows England's ruthlessness.
And for me, Tuchel,
Tuchel, has built something real, with that squad, because you could see the togetherness. And for me, I believe that if Saka were anything near, his top level without the injury, as an Arsenal fan, I couldn't be prouder. I couldn't be prouder of him. And even if I'm still hurting, about France, I believe that at least Saka has, in the World Cup, when you score a hat-trick in the World Cup, no matter what the case is, I'm hoping that I can bring that into the new season for us at Arsenal.
Now, time for the big debate. Player of the tournament. FIFA already gave us the answer. Rodri. Golden ball goes to Spain's captain and midfielder. No goals, no assists, but 650 passes, the most ever recorded in a single World Cup. Then 3% pass accuracy. The midfield engine behind the best defensive team in tournament history. Controversial? Sky Sports ranked him 18th in their power rankings, but he lifted the trophy. Akogzy, did Rodri deserve the golden ball over Mbappe?
Yeah, I want to say the tournament organizers that voted him know what they're doing. I think we tend to get carried away with goals, which is very normal. Goals win games. So I think we tend to get carried away with attackers, with strikers, with goals, and we try not to look at the midfield battle, in my opinion. So personally, in as much as I'm not a Messi fan, I still would have given it to him, because I felt like he single-handedly took Argentina to the final. Granted, there were some controversies.
Really? Messi played the tournament?
He took them to the final with the help of the refs. And
that's what I'm saying. Granted, there were some controversies. There were some controversies, but if Messi wasn't there, Argentina will make it to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, we could argue with that. I agree with you.
If there was no Messi, they won't. So I think
if the refs weren't there, you mean?
Messi and the refs. Let's say Messi and the refs. So with his 8 goals, I would say he deserves something, in my opinion. At the same time, I can argue for Mbappe, because it's meant to be individuals, right? So to me, Mbappe probably had the best tournament. So I would have gone between Mbappe and Messi, but the organizers, for them to give us a stat that we all didn't look into, 650 passes, 93% accuracy. Back to what we said about Spain. They never excite you, but that's where the engine right there, right? They keep passing around. They bore you out, and they find their way to score against you. So I think there must be something the organizers are looking at that people like me, we don't care about. I want to see goals. I want to see fast transition. I want to see good game. Not passing around is boring to me. That's just me, right? So the organizers might have seen something different. So I would say, even though I'm not 100% in agreement with picking him as the player of the tournament, I still think the organizers saw what I didn't see, and he still deserves to be the player of the tournament for whatever reason they saw that I don't see.
Glo, what do you think?
Honestly, just like you said, I'm sorry. Mbappe scored 10 goals. He became the all-time leading scorer, in World Cup history, with 22 career goals. For me, I would have given Mbappe because he won the Golden Boots. He was the most electrifying player in the World Cup, really, in this
Great.
very tournament. Rodri, yeah, is a brilliant footballer. Just like how Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, it was just so underwhelming. It was an underwhelming, person to have won the Ballon d'Or, and it's exactly this. It just crept in and won this Golden Ball. I think it was just a matter of who was there on the last day. They had to give somebody from the winning team. And if you look at the whole of the Spanish team, there wasn't anybody that held on. Yamal just is disappointed big time.
Yep.
Everyone was looking to Yamal to be the main head of the snake for Spain. But Rodri, obviously, being able to, having held, the midfield since the beginning of the tournament to the finals, I think, well, if they gave begrudgingly, I'm like, okay, they can give him because he was there to win the World Cup. But for me, I think Mbappe should have won the player of the tournament. It feels wrong, for me. It's just like 2024 all over again when Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, honestly. And people still questions that even till today.
So here's a counter argument. Spain conceded just 1 goal in 8 games. And Rodri was the reason why. Only 1 goal. His ability to screen the defense, win the ball back, maintain possession. As we said, 650 passes, 93% accuracy. That was all-time World Cup record. They are all-time World Cup record. So in my opinion, the Golden Ball is more than just goals. I think Akogzy, you said it well that sometimes we fans want to see the goals, want to see the brilliant games, but sometimes there's some stats that are very subtle that FIFA look at. Paulo Rossi, Zidane, Oliver Kahn, they all won it without even being the tournament top scorer. Rodri captained Spain to the world title. That counts. And frankly, this is brilliant television that two of you are both France fans and you're still thinking about is it Messi, is it Mbappe? But again, the argument of Messi I could make an argument for Messi, to be honest. But Mbappe, you are both France fans, you're thinking Mbappe, Akogzy is thinking maybe Messi also deserves it. But again, that's fun. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, don't make me laugh. I'm still sad, but yes, Rodri is a worthy champion. Even if I still don't agree with the Golden Ball decision, it was exceptional for Spain. In fact, if I had to pick a player really for Spain, I would have picked Mikel Merino. Because if it wasn't for Mikel Merino, no, seriously, if it wasn't for Mikel Merino, we would not be talking about Rodri. If you ask me, Mikel Merino actually pulled Spain, with the goals from one spot to the other. So for me,
against
if you really
Portugal.
want to dig deep, you really want to dig deeper, I would think that Mikel Merino for me was a secret weapon for Spain, if you ask me.
I think it comes down to what you said, right? It's hard to pick someone in the Spanish team and say this guy was outstanding in the tournament. I think that's where the problem is.
Okay.
Like you said, Yamal was disappointing, just 1 goal of tournament.
That's fine. Let's ask our viewers though. For our viewers, did Rodri deserve the Golden Ball over Mbappe and Messi? Please drop your comments below and let us know what you think. This one is generally controversial for sure. Now let's talk about the tournaments. We want to talk about this standout moment for a tournament. Each of us will pick one. The moment that defined the World Cup for us personally. So Akogzy, I'm going to have you go first. What moment of the World Cup for you? What is it?
I have a lot of moments, but since you are restricting me to one,
yep, let's go with one.
I will go with the final.
Okay.
Football 1. The moment Spain scored that goal in 106 minutes. Because you can tell Argentina was being anti-football, dirty tactics, hoping to push it to a penalty. Maybe they can hang in and win. I'm just glad that football won. So that goal from Ferran Torres, 106 minutes, that was it for me. I would have picked Mbappe's goal as well, but you said Mbappe's 22nd goal, but you said 1. So I'll stick with Argentina, anti-football, getting knocked out, 106 minutes. That was it for me.
Okay, I'm fine. How about you, Glo?
For me, I think I'll go back to Cabo Verde, against Argentina. Argentina shouldn't have been in that finals, in my opinion, because at the game they played against Cabo Verde, gone another 5 minutes. I think Cabo Verde would have equalized because they kept coming back. Every time Argentina scored, they came back. But obviously, it would have been like, oh my God, FIFA would have been crazy. But I think the whole world would have really loved to see that, because had they beaten Argentina that day, I think we'll be talking a totally different World Cup right now, because really they brought a lot of people, especially people that didn't even know anything about football. Our people always love the underdog story, and they came in very fearless, and they did they did World Cup a lot of good, in my opinion. I think that moment, Cabo Verde versus Argentina, was that game. And it was a game that everybody was just like, oh my God, yeah, this is wonderful.
Awesome. So for me, like when we did our kickoff episode for the World Cup, I was picking, one of my picks for Africa was Egypt. So I was very happy about Egypt. So they went far as round of 16. And the game against Argentina, I thought they should have won. That one rubbed me wrong, to be honest, because I thought they had a penalty to have won the game. And then the referee did nothing. Remember, they had scored, the referee blew and can't notify the goal. It was as if the referee did the same thing kind of twice, and they both favored Argentina, in my opinion. So that only rubbed me, honestly. That's a World Cup story that I will remember for a very long time. I thought Egypt were very good. Now, World Cup 2026 is done. Spain are World Cup champions. Ferran Torres was the hero. Yamal, the future. I know Glo doesn't agree with that. Glo believed Lamine Yamal didn't do anything. But again, he wasn't 100% fit. So that makes sense. Mbappe broke the record right now. England third. Egypt made history. The best World Cup in history. 104 games, 48 teams, 3 countries. Delivered everything it promised and more. Thank you to Glo. The shirt is coming in the next episode. And thank you to Akogzy for joining us today.
Thank you.
Akogzy, final word. What do you make of World Cup 2026? What do you think about the World Cup 2026? Final word.
I enjoyed every bit of the World Cup. I watched a couple of games live and in 3D. I'm just so excited and happy that I went to see live games, right?
You watched 2, right? Was it 2?
I watched 2, yeah. I watched the Norway game. I watched the Egypt game.
That's a good one.
So it was I think it delivered what it promised, just like you said. Probably the best World Cup ever. Obviously, the US hosting it also add some spice to it, right?
Some flair, for sure.
Yeah, some flavor, right? So I think it's good. I look forward to 2030. I'm hoping I will go watch a live game at the Bernabeu in 2030. That's my hope.
Okay, that should be a good one. That's good.
Nice.
Yeah. Akogzy, thank you so much for joining us on Disputed today. Brilliant to have you.
Thanks for having me.
We have you back.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
All right.
Obviously, we've concluded Spain were the best team. I said it. It hurts, but they won it, so I said it. See you for the Premier League opening very soon. And thank you, Akogzy, for coming.
Yeah,
and
thanks for having
Nate,
me.
enjoy this. It won't last forever, though. Enjoy.
Subscribe, everyone.
Yeah.
The shirt is coming. Get the World Cup verdict in the comments. This is Disputed on SportsTalk Media HQ. See you next time. Vamos España.
Thank you.
Bye.